Oh, hey, beautiful. It's me. Today I want to talk about a shortcut to healing and to awakening, really self-realization. Now, while I believe that all these paths are helpful, all these modalities, all these different healing approaches and ideas and methods and concepts, and it appears that we here as these humans peel the onion. And the onion is all the layers of trauma and fear and blocks and, different things that we think that we're healing and letting go of. And that is true to, a large extent. And then what happens is we get done. The concept is that you get done peeling the onion and then there's no onion. Eventually you get done, there's no more layers to peel and you're healed. And really for most people when you're on the planet, you don't really get done. Okay, there's a concept. But the truth is, in reality, so that's the human construct, right? In that we peel this onion, but in reality, in truth, who you really are, needs no peeling of any layers because you're already whole and perfect in your right mind. Now, the split mind, the ego, the separated self, the small self, the character, the body, the thinker mind, the psychological mind, the person, the personal self, that is the one with the layers. That's the onion. That is the onion, basically. And when you are done with all the layers, there's no more onion. So there's no more concept of self, of a separated little self that's talking to itself, that's always afraid and anxious and fearful and trying to get its needs met outside of itself. That whole concept is undone. But now the shortcut I wanted to talk about is that can appear to take lifetimes or a whole lifetime if you're dedicated to self-realization, at least a lifetime, if not more. Now, the shortcut is instead of just peeling the layers and trying to fix yourself as a limited ego, what can be done is you start to step into the truth that you are. And that is the shortcut. And that is by just stepping out of the noise of stopping whatever you're doing, stopping the ego thoughts, just taking a pause and getting really still. And stillness is a mental thing. It's not a physical thing. It might help that you're doing nothing and sitting there quietly. You could walk and do this. And it's basically just a stilling or a dropping of the mind that's thinks it's this limited, separated self. But in that moment, the practice and how to get to no onion is no layers to peel, as you just keep coming back to the piece that you are, behind the noise, behind the circus of thoughts and feelings and experiences. You just drop anything, just temporarily, momentarily, just to experience the stillness and the peace in the mind that you are already, whole and complete, nothing to peel. And as you go more and more into that right mind, you see that there's nothing really to do. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing that you need to be happy outside of yourself, that you're already all of that. You're already the peace, the joy, the love, the happiness, love extending itself. You're already compassion. You're already whole, complete, perfected, limitless, perfection itself, because there's nothing that's needed to add or take away from it for it to be whole or perfect or complete. So you can hear these concepts, but until you actually experience it by just stopping, which is why that's one of the hardest things for an ego to do, is just to stop and get still and get quiet. And this doesn't have to take a long time. This isn't like a 20-minute meditation or an hour and 2-hour meditation. No, it's just a stop. You can get really good at this and be able to go there within seconds or even a second. And I'm going to be giving a lot more tools and little insights into how to do this from a very non-specific path kind of approach. I might drop hints into different, or you're welcome to ask me for resources or look at my reading list to get resources that all point to this type of thing. And that is the liberation and the freedom of the mind, because once we're free in the mind, we're free. There is no other freedom, and it doesn't matter what the body's doing, because if you get the head right, everything else follows. So that's today's idea. Today's concept is talking about the shortcut, and I'll be talking about it much more, that it's much quicker to just step into what you are than to trying to fix what you're not. If you try to fix an ego as an ego, you get more ego. So that doesn't work, and that's what most people are doing in the spiritual community and on a spiritual path. They are just trying to fix themselves with a self, a limited self. And then they become a spiritual ego or a spiritual self that thinks it's just better than everybody else and knows more than everybody else, and stays in that oscillation of problem and solution where I got to fix somebody else. And then, you know, but most people, as they get close to that, realize that, okay, this is just another version of the same thing. And so that's another layer to be let go of, or step, like I said, the faster way, step into the piece that you are already. And, you know, you can, when you're done peeling the layers and don't want to peel anymore, or you don't want to waste your time that route, you can go this route, and that practice in and of itself will peel the layers. So that's why it's a shortcut. Anyway, always loving to hack the spiritual path and the spiritual noise out there, and give shorter, faster ways to come out of pain and suffering and everything else, and projections and judgment, and have a better time while you appear to be here. Okay, this is long enough. I'll be chatting with you soon. Okay, take care.